Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our conversation with Mrs. Madhura DasGupta Sinha, founder and CEO of Aspire for Her. I would like to take 2 minutes and introduce her. Mrs. Madhura DasGupta Sinha has been a banker for the last 25 years, holding leadership positions in IDFC, Standard Chartered, and ANZ Grindlays Bank. She studied electrical engineering before doing her MBA from XLRI and was part of the British Evening Scholarship Program. She launched her social startup Aspire for Her on Women's Day 2020 with the mission to motivate young women to join and stay in the workforce. I would like to call her right now, and she will be talking about Aspire for Her.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Simran, and lovely to be here addressing the WIT space. Thank you so much. Uh, am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. Great. And thank you for letting me talk about my passion, Aspire for Her. And as all of you know, that we launched Aspire for Her on Women's Day this year. So we're just about 8 months old. And our mission is to motivate young women to enter and stay in the workforce. And we want to touch a community of 1 million women, adding $5 billion to the Indian GDP by 2025. We have a lot of things in store, but I'm sure as the conversation goes on, we will find out more and more about finding that dream job and also a little bit about Aspire for Her. So over to you, Simran.
Wow, that's awesome. I would like to start with a few questions and then in the end, we can take the audience questions. So, the first thing I would want to ask you is what influenced you to set up Aspire for Her? Have you always kind of been inclined to creating a social change to this massive extent? What idea came up into your mind to start off like that?
Simran, I was looking at a lot of gender data coming out of India. And there were two things that happened in quick succession. So perhaps I'll tell you those two stories first. And one of them was with a very close friend of mine. She studied with me. She went to grade school, had a great education. She was brilliant. She got married, had a daughter. She decided to move out of the workforce and stay like that. She was doing something very meaningful. She was bringing up a family. And a few months back, her father fell very ill. She wanted to contribute to her father's treatment and just could not because she did not want to ask her husband for money. And that's when I felt that here she was perfectly capable of doing so many things in her life. And yet, just for asking for money, she was actually feeling bad about it. She didn't want to do it. And I felt that it's so important to be financially independent when you're actually leading your life. The second story also happened at the same time. And there was this young girl who had gotten this fabulous job with a tech company, and her future seemed very bright. And I was very happy, very excited for her. She was supposed to get married to somebody, and the person's family, in fact, came out saying that you know what, women in our families don't work, so we don't actually want you working. And she just gave up her job, just like that. I found that very
Wow.
strange and I found that very sad. And I said, on one hand, we're looking at India slipping every year in the Global Gender Gap Index. There's so many companies, so many countries actually just, striding ahead in this space. I said, someone has to do something about this. And that
Yeah.
someone has to be me. So that's how Aspire for Her was born, Simran. Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful. And thank you for starting Aspire for Her. I mean, a lot of people are grateful to you, I'm sure. I know them personally. So,
Yeah, I
second,
love having you at Aspire for Us, Simran. You and all your friends. I think we're building an awesome peer community, which I love being part of.
yeah, we need a community. It's really important. So, the second question I would want to ask is the reason why everyone is here. how to land your dream job, how can women have more fulfilling careers and get the roles they aspire for.
Fantastic. I think thank you for coming to the heart of the matter here and how to land your dream job. Okay, in my mind, a dream job is often something like a dream spouse, because you actually need to ensure that you understand the company, the culture of the company, and it has to be the right fit for you. But how to, right? I mean, we're talking about that. And I don't want to talk so much about the technical skills. I mean, I know that all our participants here in the Women in Technology Forum, they will all have great tech skills. Okay. I have absolutely no doubt that they will know everything about everything that's happening in the tech world and otherwise. But there are some life skills that I'd like to talk about here. And particularly, I think two life skills and a certain weapon that I want all of you to really have. The two life skills here I'm talking about, the number one, perseverance. Never ever quit. Never ever give up. At a point in time when young girls are actually entering their career, I find them very bright and very ambitious, and they really want to reach places. They have to remember that this inner feeling, this inner spark that they have, this has to go on for the rest of their life, even when
Yeah.
things are not going very well for them. And even when there are other challenges on their way. Often, when you're starting off, it's very difficult to see that road ahead. And people like Aspire for Her, people like all of us here, we are just there to show that preview, to show that road ahead. The second life skill that I'd like to talk about is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after a setback. Because in all our lives, however bright and brilliant and lucky we are, we will all have setbacks in our lives. There will be problems, there will be challenges, barriers. Somebody will come and say something which we don't like. And as a result of that, often we tend to react, we tend to give up and quit. So my request to all of you, and I see so many people joining here, so many wonderful comments already exploding on our chat box here.
Yeah.
Warm welcome to all of you. But I want really all of you to be resilient in your lives. And this life skill, I feel, is much more important than any technical skills that you can pick up on AI or ML or blockchain or whatever else. So I'd like to leave you all with these two thoughts that please ensure that you develop these two skills. These two, you don't need to be born with them. They can be developed. And there are so many organizations today which actually allow you to understand yourself better, Aspire for Her just being one of them. And the third thing that I'd like to leave you with is have the right mindset. The winning mindset, not to be defeated by challenges, by barriers, by curveballs that life throws at you. Have the right mindset. And that is the secret to having a fantastic career, a long career, and absolutely being fulfilled in every way, both personally and professionally. So thank you for the question, Simran. Yes.
Wow. These two pointers are something that I think a lot of women leaders also tell us to keep in mind. You being one of them. And AFH is, I think, is slowly gonna become a movement, and we're seeing that come in, and I think it'll make a really big impact.
Yeah, I see it as a movement. I actually don't see
Correct.
us as an organization. I really see it as a movement. And, there are so many AFH members who are there on this call, who are all around. And I know all of them will completely vouch for it.
Yeah. Okay, so to add to that, I want to ask you another question is what do you think are the key pointers that women need to focus on while choosing their careers and while adapting to changes in direction of careers and roles?
Yeah. And thank you. Great question again. So basically, I think first let's come to the point of choosing, and then we'll come to the point of adapting. As I said, choosing the right career is very important. And as a result of that, you can actually spend 4 or 5 years of your life feeling perfectly unhappy with yourself and your entire career actually getting derailed. Or by making the right choices, you can actually reach the right places that you want to go to, influence the right set of people, reach the sort of goals that you have set for yourself personally and professionally. So I'll just give an example. There was somebody who came to us saying that my the thing that I really love about careers, as I think of myself, looking forward, is I want to be in journalism. I want to be a fantastic journalist, and I love the life that they lead. I love the way that they go and do investigative journalism and all of that. So I said, fantastic. And why don't you actually talk to a journalist and see what her life is like? Go for a mentorship session with a journalist, and she did that. Uh, and after having multiple sessions with a doyen of journalism, in fact, somebody who you see on television every day, Rika Roy, who's our mentor. She mentored this young woman, and she then decided that journalism is not the right choice for me, because I don't like the way in which life unfolds in journalism. I don't like the way in which the organizations work. I don't like the way in which people react with each other. And while on the veneer of it is very glamorous, and on the surface it looks like a great job for me, but deep inside, if I actually look within, it's not a great job. So I would like all of you to really research and preview all sorts of careers. I may be a kind of person, I love speaking with people, I love meeting new people, I love being out there, having sessions like this, talking to lots of people like this. Uh, Probably a job in a bank treasury where I don't get to meet too many people, where I constantly have to work only with numbers and sitting in one corner as a solitary performer. And that's the success of my job. That's what my job success needs me to do. I will not be happy in a job like that. And if I'm not happy in a job, I will definitely not do well. So I would really request this whole piece of research to be there, to look at as many career reviews as you guys can. And sometimes it may be the other way around. I just gave two bad examples here, but it could be the other way around, that you may actually just discover that, hey, this is a very cool career choice. And you just go into a learning opportunity, and you discover that it's a great career choice for you, and you can actually perhaps find a new path for yourself, open up new horizons, and actually follow that path of your dreams. So please research. That's the only message that I will leave you all with. And there are so many organizations there to help you, out there to help you with that. Make use of all those resources.
Yes. And how do you think we can adapt to like changing our direction? Like,
So basically, as you start your journey, and I love this line by Sheryl Sandberg, right? It talks about the fact that a career is not a ladder; it's a jungle gym. And what do I mean by that? I mean that as you move in an organization and as you grow with the organization, it is important to look at various facets of the organization, because an organization where you've actually been a good performer, they're willing to take a chance on you. So the first mantra of adaptation is actually learning, keeping your mind open, keeping your eyes and ears open for new opportunities. And in my long innings at Standard Chartered, I found many opportunities of doing that. And suddenly I realized, in fact, somebody, the CFO, who was, one of my mentors in Standard Chartered, and I had nothing to do with finance. And he just landed up one day when I was a branch manager and said, hey, I would like you to look at heading finance for this particular unit. Would you like to do that? And I said, I'm not a chartered accountant. I've never done finance in my life. Would you really like me to do this? He said, yes. I want somebody who's handled customers, who's handled businesses, to actually come and do something like this for me. So adaptation, but I had an open mind. And I thought it was a wonderful idea to get into a completely new segment, which I knew absolutely nothing about. So that helped. And the same thing happened when I actually moved into IDFC. I was never in HR. Somebody offered me an HR job. I felt, I'm starting up a bank. I'm going to be one of the founding members of this organization and building the newest bank in my country. When you get on a rocket ship, do you ask, which seat am I getting? You don't. So I decided that I should just take up that opportunity. In my case, both of these, this career leaps, as I call them, worked out very well. Uh, uh, Everybody may not be so lucky. So please research and then take that leap. And that's how you can adapt into new roles within organizations.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we say that you will never know until we try, so we'll have to try, and then only we'll know what's the best for us. Since you
Absolutely.
mentioned since you mentioned career previews and mentors, I would like to ask you, does having a mentor in the field that we're taking is helpful, and how is it helpful?
So, at Aspire for Her, we have a bunch of mentors across various fields, uh, and having a mentor, I think, is one of the best experiences I have had in my life. I used to have a mentor, and that's the reason why I put so much stress on mentorship at Aspire for Her. So, what a mentor does is actually opens up your mind to new opportunities, shows you the path ahead, and often tells you about the mistakes that they have made, which they do not want you to make again in your life. And I think that this opportunity that we are giving to people of talking to industry leaders as mentors can be absolutely life transforming. And many people, many of you who've actually been to the mentorship sessions, do know that sometimes after having a conversation, there is just that magic click, that happens, and you say, "Oh my God, why didn't I think of that before?" And even today, I think the mentors who guide me in my journey at Aspire for Her have been absolutely amazing. Just this morning, I was speaking to a couple of them, and they just told me about a couple of new things which I just hadn't thought about. And I think that's the true spirit of a mentor. They just open up, new parts of your brain, and they make you see the picture in a completely different light.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, we would definitely need to gain experience from there, learn from their mistakes, and we can apply in our lives. Awesome. So the next question I would want to ask is, Aspire for Her is engaging in strategic partnerships with other organizations to provide more job opportunities for women and prepare them for these jobs. Could you elaborate a little on the partnerships that Aspire for Her gives?
Yeah, thank you for that. We try very hard to have very meaningful partners who share the same sort of diversity mantra like us. We want to have partners who wish to, hand hold our hands during this very difficult journey, because the journey that we have started is actually quite difficult. If you see the numbers, if you see the gender data in India, it's quite a tough ask. It's an uphill ask. What I would like to talk to you about is two kinds of partnerships that at Aspire for here we're striving to build. One on the learning side, and on the learning side we have a partnership with VMware, which is looking at cloud computing careers. They are telling us that across India there are going to be 1 billion cloud computing jobs, which will emanate over the next couple of years. We're very excited about that. So therefore, we provide learning opportunities in terms of virtualization, cloud computing, and the like with them. The second partnership I'd like to talk about is edX. As some of you may know, that edX offers courses from world-class institutions like Harvard, MIT, etc. And thanks to them, thanks to Aspire for Her, we are actually reaching those sort of courses to places like Begusarai and Asansol, where our members are there. I hope some of them are listening here, and I'm personally very, very delighted with that outcome. The third partnership that we had, which we launched recently, was with IBM. IBM launched their Open PTech platform through us, which also talks about little bite-sized learning into latest cutting-edge technology. They give certifications and badges, and that is one step closer to your dream career. Our learning opportunities are all tailored to take you that one step closer to your dream career, whether you had a tech background or not. I think that's the other important point. That's one area of strategic partnerships that we have, Simran. And the second area, of course, is the obvious one, which is employment, entrepreneurship, and education. We try to offer employment opportunities. So one of the options that we had is having this wonderful conversation and this partnership with Women in Technology. So we're very happy that we got this partnership, and so many companies, I think more than 40 companies are there in this virtual career fair, and amazing jobs. I was just looking at the jobs line, and absolutely amazing jobs. So we're very happy to provide that to our members and to our entire community. The second form of partnership that we have is on building aspirations for women entrepreneurs. We're working on several partnerships around that as well, and we will keep announcing that as we go forward. And the third bit is on higher education. Sometimes you figure out that you want to actually reach out for a particular job. Your dream job is a little far away because there is a bridge that you have to cross, and that bridge is higher education. We have a fabulous partnership with IMS Learning for that. They prepare students for all kinds of higher education, and the founder is very, very passionate about our cause. And all of you are most welcome to come and see what we offer, and try and we'll try and offer you all the best that our strategic partnerships have to offer. Thank you.
That's
Simran, there
a
are a
lot.
lot of questions
I'm
coming
sure
up.
a lot of, yes. So, Priya from the audience has a question for you, which says, "How do you see future of women in tech? What guidance do you tell them?"
Thank you, Priya, for that question. And I see the future as very, very bright because everybody across every country in the world, they want more women in STEM, and particularly more women in tech. Why? Because they want they want their employees to mirror their customers. And as more and more women use technology more, the next billion of internet users will come out of India is what people are talking about. We feel that the future of women in tech is very bright. There are often women who are not encouraged to take on tech careers, and many organizations like Women in Technology, they are actually encouraging women to take on tech careers. So we are very keen to support every possible initiative in this space, every possible movement in this space. One guidance that I'd like to tell you is that women in tech will not only include women who have studied technology. So it will not include only engineers and people who study computer science and things like that. It will actually, more and more, it will become interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. So you will have women who studied languages, you will have women who studied anthropology, you will have women who studied design coming into technology. And I think that intersection of that entire multidisciplinary, sort of discipline emerging will be an absolutely wonderful thing for both for technology and for women. Thank you for the question, Priya.
Yes. So, I would ask you the next question, which is, what are the long-term objectives you're looking at, and what is the significant impact do you foresee in the near future for Aspire for Her?
Yeah, Simran, we have big plans for Aspire for Her. As you know, we don't like to call it just an organization, but it's really like a movement. And every day I speak to so many people who tell us we want to be part of this. People who I do not know, people who've just seen us on social media, people who've probably talked to us in a session like this. They just want to be part of the movement. And that gives me so much of joy, that gives me so much of optimism that people are thinking about this problem. So we want by 2025, we have a very, very, very cool goal though. By 2025, we want to build a community of 1 million women who will actually add $5 billion to the Indian GDP. That's a big, audacious
Wow.
number, but that's what we are gunning for. Uh, by 1 million women, I mean, it's not only 1 million women actually, because for every job created for a woman, there will be three more jobs created, around that woman. And mostly all of them will again be women who will be entering into the workforce through this. So we can actually look at 3 million women entering the workforce and 10 million lives getting impacted, actually through our movement. So we're very excited with that. That's our grand vision. We don't share it very often, but I thought that the Women in Technology Forum was a good enough forum to actually share it with the whole world. So thank you for the question.
Okay. There's a question in the audience from Robin. She is the leader of a group and have heard a lot of times that girls can't become leaders. So she's like, how do you motivate them and correct their mindset? I think what she means is how does she make people take her seriously in the group if she's leading it. So yeah, how do we motivate our team leaders?
Yeah, so Robin, this is true that the many girls groups and people say that she runs like a girl, she throws like a girl, so therefore let's not look at her as becoming let's look at her as becoming a leader because we don't think that she's good enough to be a leader. This is unfortunately a mindset which is deep set in our country, and it's really sad. What we like to see at Aspire for Her is that we cannot change everyone in our country. It's very difficult for us to do that. So what we say is we work on the mindset of only the woman herself and give her so much confidence that she's able to stand up in any place, in any forum, have a conversation with anybody, hold her own, and be able to communicate freely. I think those are the kind of skills that we are working on so that people get that confidence to stand up and to ensure that they work on a complete mindset change for themselves. Because only if they do it themselves will they be able to influence others. So that's long and short answer of this. It's easier said than done, of course. But that's the reason why we give opportunities to young women like Simran, like many of you who are here. I can see a lot of them who actually do a lot of the work at Aspire for Her. They do our webinars, they interview our CEOs, they write our blogs, they do the career previews with senior women leaders, they take the decisions, and we give them those opportunities to become confident about themselves.
Yes. So there's a last question from Ishita, which says, how will you tell women to motivate themselves after facing failure and getting back and working towards their dreams?
Thank you, Ishita, for that question. And my favorite question is really about failure. As a country, as a community, and as a society, we do not celebrate failures enough. Failures are actually the best way to learn something. Because if you're successful in the very first attempt, then you do not know the other 99 ways in which you can actually do something. When I hire someone, I actually look at how many times the person has failed. And any far-sighted leader will do that. Why? Because if the person has failed, the person will not make that same mistake again. His worldview is richer, he's far more mature, and he's able to take a far better decision, taking all the elements of what can go wrong, because he's already failed once. So any forward-looking leader will actually look at failures and look at them as badges. So we like to wear our failures like our badges of honor. All of us have had failures, and we should feel proud about them. So thank you, Ishita, for the question.
Awesome. I think that's something that's one major takeaway that people can take from this session. And unfortunately, we are out of time. And I would like Madhura ma'am to say a few words for our partnership with Ignite.
Thank you. We're very excited about the partnership with Ignite, and I think women in technology are doing an amazing job in getting all these opportunities sort of fixed for young women, for mid-career women in technology and in sort of related areas. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you, Rachna, Shweta, Anuranjita, Sanjana, all of you who have actually played a big role in sort of making this partnership work. And very, very excited to see where this will go. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, WIT, from the entire AFH team. And we would look forward to attending the virtual career fair. And I'm sure a lot of people out here would always also love to attend. And I'm sure a lot of women would get jobs and, they can start their dream job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.